Hi, my dears, my dear followers, subscribers. Now I'm in time today, and everything is successful with tech details. I'm happy, and we can talk about the topic which are regarding relationships with Ukrainian women and finding a bride here. Oh, Jorn, correct name? Do I spell it correctly? Hello. So today we talk about the topic of isolation period with your girlfriend, with your woman, and how to support your relationships during this time. You know, because of this quarantine, we all faced the situation that when you can't travel to meet each other very soon, we don't know when the borders will be opened. We all hope that it will happen in the summer. So meanwhile, you have to communicate online and at any rate to develop your relationships if you are interested in this woman. So yes, of course, we talk about the situation when you already met Ukrainian woman and you are in relationships and you are separated because of this quarantine now and can't meet very soon. Yeah, John, I see. Thank you for answer. So what is important to do while the quarantine? And this is a very general advice for actually for everyone, not only for those who are in relationships. It's about making your schedule for each day. So you have to plan when you work, if you can work from home, when you have time for personal life, and you should stick to it. And when you talk with a woman during a day, and you can have some correspondence with her, but why not to make a video date with your girlfriend, maybe with a glass of wine, if you like it, if you both like it, so you can talk in a normal way. What I face in situation of clients, when man meets right woman and they start to develop relationships, sometimes it happens that man expects woman to answer him non-stop during the day to his messages, and it rarely happens because each of us, we have our own life, and if woman works, moreover she is not so accessible during the day long. You shouldn't be hurt by this fact. It just because she is busy. You can write, you can ask her the direct question and she will answer you. But I saw many situations like that, and when a man felt hurt, woman explained us that it's just because she's busy with her work and nothing else. She's still interested. She wants to develop relationships with this man, but she's busy. Most probably she has child or children. She has to work, and she also should support your relationships. And sometimes it's not so easy. So if you plan your time of meeting in advance to talk with her, to discuss with her when it's comfortable for you, it won't be the issue. So you will wait the time for your personal life with her, and you both enjoy the communication. So let me answer the comments. I'm still recovering from my last breakup. Not sure I have a question now. Let me think. I think yes, in general, most of women would like it. Actually, for example, I like it, but at the same time, if men don't drink at all, never, 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 ever, it makes women think that he can have some problems, some issues with alcohol, and sometimes it's not so good too. So it depends on the reasons why you don't drink at all. You should explain it to your girlfriend directly then, and see how she will react. So let's continue our topic. So when you have a schedule for the whole day, she has it too. You plan your time for your boss, or to chat or to have video call, and this will give you less tension. If you was writing her all day long and was waiting for her answer constantly, or maybe she would do it. She would text you all the time, all the day long, being on quarantine, and most probably you would be a little bit irritated if you are busy with something else. So actually it depends on each separate couple. If you are both free, you don't have to work at all, and you like texting all day long, why not to do it? But I will tell you about the cases what I faced in our work, and how to give you pieces of advice how to arrange it in a better way, so that you both feel happy, feel comfortable, and your relationships wouldn't be deteriorated. And when you for your personal meetings. And what I noticed from girls' stories when they share with me, not many girls actually. I don't know anyone yet, any woman who would like a man to send her sexy pictures of himself, too much sexy, I mean. And usually girls get surprised and get not happy with these pictures. Many of them say, most probably this man is abnormal if he sends me these pictures, or he's too much about sex. So even if you are starting to build close relationships, don't risk to send open pictures of yourself, too much naked and so on. Actually, it's not secure at all, because everything that goes to internet, you never know who else will see it. But especially if you send this type of pictures to your lady, it's not good for developing relationships. But again, keep in mind that I'm talking about most of women, but of course there are exclusions. I'm sure they exist, they live. And if your woman is like that, you can miss my advice and do what's comfortable for you both. What else is important? When your woman is not very fluent in English, you might need some translation service. If you write to each other, there is no problem with it. Google Translate helps. Viber has automated translation too. But if you want to have a conference call on Skype, either you can have some gadget translating that hears and translates what you say into Russian, and then Russian translates into English, for example. So just take care about technical details of your conversation, because actually it's difficult to communicate when you can't understand each other. You can see each other, of course, you can smile and so on, but it doesn't replace talking, real talk. Let me read the comment. I had a Ukrainian girlfriend one time. It was great, but also short-lived. Julia from Odessa, and she could drink big beer slow. Smart lady. Yeah, sometimes even women sometimes like to drink beer or even vodka. Some women. Just what I understood. There are not good or bad people. There is just the question of compatibility, and you need to find the person who fits you. She fits you fits her. You fit her, and then you're happy. You can both drink a lot together. You can both love beer together, and just enjoy being having the same taste. So why not? If it's not influencing your life badly, why not to do it? So when you have a video call with your woman, take care of technical details, how you talk, how you translate what you say. And because actually many of our women, they still rely on men, and when it time comes about rules of dating in a generation among digital generation, and even American women, they write that we have to expect activity from men, initiative from men, even if the woman is super successful at work and she has business, she earns much money. She is a woman still, and in relationships she should be more expecting, passive, while man is active. And actually, I fully agree with this to the point of view and share it. And also, many of our women, they expect men to be very active in attitude to her if he is really interested. If you are not that active, most women would think that you are not that interested. But again, I'm talking about the bigger part of women, but not about all. Maybe you are very shy, passive guy, and there will be some woman who likes to be active, who enjoys to be leader, and you make perfect couple too, why not? So you have a schedule, you arrange your video calls in advance, you discuss it with the lady, with your woman when it's comfortable for her, and then during the day you can send the sweet messages to each other. Don't forget to do it. And I also noticed that when you are developing your relationships, most women will expect you to write at least 1-2 lines every day, so that they understand you think about them, you care about them, and so on. So I will read comment now. One thing I really like, popular now here, the healthy way of life, healthy food, fitness centers. Of course, now everything is closed because of quarantine, but usually fitness clubs are full of women, beautiful women, working on their shape, doing some sport. And we have in Odessa we have Road of Health, it's called in Russian, of course. And this here you will see many people running, doing biking, roller skating, and so on. So actually, yes, our women take care how they look, and they like to be slender. When you talk with local women, 99% of them say you that they are trying to lose weight or losing weight, so they keep it in mind constantly. Comment. Julia told me once it's because the women in the Ukraine walk a lot. They here they just like to eat. It's probably the sugar, okay, and genetics. Yeah, genetics works for sure, and walking. It depends actually on the type of life that she has. Because still many women here, they drive a car, and if they are highly busy at work, they usually drive a lot, and they make a special time to do sport every day or each second day. Not many actually walk. Those who have cars, they don't have so much time for walk actually. But if they make special time for this, yes. What is the chance of many international couples, even in Odessa, living in Odessa, and they have mixture in their children? I see it, it's obvious. So I think that it's still possible, but not that easy that it is with European men or American men, but still it's possible. And once we had Indian client, a very intelligent, smart guy, and actually he got several interest from several girls. Many refused to meet, but some got interested, and they even tried to develop relationships. So it's still possible, but in this case we just need more time to find appropriate match for you, to talk with the woman and to find out who is interested exactly in meeting you. So let me read the new comments. Going back to the language translation or language barrier, do you think that during the initial phase of the relationship, the couples might blame relationships issue on the issue on the language barrier, and once the language barriers go away, the problems come back with a bang. Actually, Dayo, it can happen, but it is also can't happen in the same degree. I mean, it can be and it can not exist. So it depends on each couple. I don't think that language barrier is too big to experience the problems, because we all know that 70% of information we got from the person by non-verbal signals. For translation, you can use any Google Translator, and for the first meetings with girls, we also provide the translation service, so that you will have the possibility to discuss very important things, your values, your beliefs, your goals, with a normal translation, so that the woman would understand you correctly and you would do the same. And for the further communication, you can use just any translator. And how easy to just get in laid or make a no of girlfriends in Ukraine? I can't answer this question actually, because I never discussed it with women and I don't know. Just didn't face it. Talking about Odessa, by road, kilometers away from you. So when quarantine is over, John, I hope you have to come here and enjoy our Odessa life. A very beautiful place. I refuse to believe that the borders will be opened for a long time, so I really hope they will be opened soon. And finally, we will meet all our clients who had to come in the spring and in the summer too, and to make new couples. Akshat, actually, we are matchmaking agency. We don't. How to explain you? I don't always know. I'm not always able to understand about the sexual part of relationships of our couples, because not everyone shares this information, and I don't ask because it's not right question for communication. So if a woman wants, she can share, but it's not the rule. Age can matter in marriage. Yeah, for sure, and I talked about it in several of my videos. In short, I don't recommend too big age difference, but again, there are different couples and they are still happy even with big age difference, so there are always exclusions. But of course, the more similarity you have in your couple, the more chances for success you have. You know, actually we usually like people who are resembling us, so we like people who look like us in everything, including sometimes it's about appearance, about your point of view, about how you see the world, which attitude you have to other people. The more similarities you have in a couple, the more chances for success you have. So yeah, the same is about the age. If you don't have too big age difference, you are on the same life stage, with the same, probably the same achievements in life, the same generation. So it all makes your marriage easier, and I hope happier. John, I have been to the Ukraine 4 times holiday and visiting Julia with plenty romance. Loved the place, beautiful weather too. So I'm happy that you have these impressions about Ukraine and romance. It's beautiful. Actually, I notice more and more our women, they are inclined to get married foreign men. So I think that this wish of foreign men to find local women, and when local women they want to find foreign men, this will be for a long time, because foreign men complain about Western women who lost their femininity or almost lost, while local women they want stable, strong man who can take care of family and who can appreciate family. Mm-hmm. I hope you will. I'm reading comment. I can't wait to go to the Ukraine for the first time. I think you will love it, especially if you go to Odessa or Kiev, big cities, beautiful, and it's impossible not to love it. So when you talk with your lady while the isolation period, also, so you have much time, probably more time than usually to talk with her. Maybe she has it more of it too. Still try to keep borders, how to say it. So don't be too intrusive too. Don't write too much, because if you communicate all the time, every second, you can feel sometimes quite bored, and you won't have something left till your personal meeting if you discuss too many questions, too many intimate questions. Maybe in some time you will you will feel you don't have so much interest anymore. And personal communication, it's always different than via even video calls. So leave something for your personal meeting. I will read your questions. I was looking at Kiev, Odessa, and Kharkov. Yes, these are big, good cities, and each one is very unique. Odessa is more for tourists. Kiev is the capital of Ukraine, and Kharkov is more industrial city. They are all different. And if you have the chance, try to make this trip and to visit each of them. So humble. Akshat, I just translated what you wrote about humble. As for communication, just leave the most intimate, delicate topics for your personal meeting and for your personal communication. Don't talk too much all the time. Just keep the intrigue, keep the interest, and so that you would expect your next meeting with much of anticipation, passion, and interest. Don't open yourself till the end just in correspondence. Correspondence is something very different from real relationships. So I'm reading the comment. Yes, I wanted to come in July, but now I must wait till end of the year or early 2021. Why do you think so? You think that the borders will be closed till the end of this year? We have different versions here. They write different articles, and someone says that the borders will be opened in July. Someone says some in September. And I had some version about opening in 1 year, but it seems to me too impossible. As we say here, local politics and so on, they can't have holidays here in Ukraine all the time. They don't know how to do it, so they will prefer to travel too very soon. So what else during your isolation period with your lady? Just don't forget to say her compliments, to support her if she's sad or something happened with her. Just tell her good words, and depending on the type of relationships that you have, try to support her as much as you can. Show your care, show your sensitivity, and once again I had the case from woman, while she has to work from home all the time and she is in front of the computer all the time and she is almost not leaving her home because of this virus. Her man from Europe writes her constantly how much fun he has now, how he drinks wine and so on, and it it causes some negative emotions from her side, because she expects him to support her first of all and to understand her feelings too. I say end of the year because of my work and finding the free time again. I see. John, sometimes I wonder how the Ukraine and Russia would look like if there wouldn't be no alcohol. Just lost a good friend of mine due to that stuff. Everything in moderation, I guess. You know, actually, I don't think that alcohol is such a big problem here. Actually, maybe it depends on the type of people with whom we communicate, but among my friends I don't see much problem in it. Maybe the other people, maybe, I don't know, but from what I see, I don't notice the great problem with it at all. In Russia maybe more, but not in Ukraine. Here I noticed that many people are becoming quite close to European too, and men, our local men too, in how they behave, how they think, what they want from the family. So when Ukrainian ladies expect to be supported, do you mean like emotionally or financially? First of all, emotionally, it's very important. Financially, it's only when you are 100% sure that she is fully sincere with you and when you really want to help her. Also, I had the stories from women when they were in relationships with a man for a long time, more than maybe 1 year and more, and still when she had some difficult situations in life or lost job, a man didn't try to help her at all and just told everything will be good, everything will be good. Of course, for our women, and I guess for every woman from anywhere of the world, it sounds like he's just a good friend, no, nothing more. So if the situation is appropriate and if you want it and if you have the possibility, you can support her financially too. But again, when you are 100% sure in your feelings, in her feelings, and that she is sincere, because there are many manipulations from scammers on these topics, and sometimes it's really difficult to understand when there is a really sincere woman and she needs help, and when there is someone who is just making money this way. Will my CV for a Ukrainian lady look bad if she will find out I cancelled my wedding with my Russian and almost wife 2 months in advance? Okay, bad joke, but it's not joke. Cancelled summer 2015. Again, I would say that from what you told, it's impossible to say if it's good or not, because it depends on the details, what happened, why you did it. So maybe you just, everything was good, you just changed mind suddenly, unexpectedly, and you even don't realize why you do it just emotionally. So it's not good sign, of course. But if you, before you have really serious reasons to do this, then it will be more rational, obvious, logical for women. So when you discuss it with your new girlfriend, just give details why it happened, and probably it won't be a problem at all. After all, she will be happy that because of it you can be with her now, so it's not that bad too. Yes, you're right, I wouldn't support my lady financially until I knew that we were in a solid loving relationships. Yes, fully agree with you. You know, local women, they usually don't understand if you say constantly I love you, but you don't do anything to her. As well as if you notice that she always tell you that she loves you, but her actions tell you different thing, then you will feel there is something wrong. If she only tells that she loves you, but she nothing does for you, so there is a problem. The same is about men. There are many, many romantic men. They can talk a lot, promise a lot, maybe write poems, but they don't don't make real actions towards a woman, then it's just telling, it's not about love. John, yes, better, but now I'm 5 years old and at least I was able to save more. Yeah, one more plus. And the most important, now you have the possibility to meet the right person. Sometimes I'm asked as a matchmaker how it happened that I'm divorcing now and I don't have a man. But I always answered that to meet the right person, first of all, you need to be single for some time, correct? So it's just natural process, and it allows you to meet the right person. It allows you to have another chance for happiness. So it's better to cancel the wedding that you didn't feel would be right for you than to get married, to have children, to get divorced, and you spend time, you spend emotions, and you feel sorrow sometimes. So it's better to miss it if you feel in the very beginning that it's not right to get married. Yeah, thank you. Not all marriages work out, but next time I'm sure you will find the one. John, thank you for jokes. The main advice, as soon as you can travel and to meet your woman, do it as often as you can. If you can come to Ukraine and meet her once again, do it. If you can have a trip together somewhere, do it. When the quarantine will be over, I hope soon, and again we will have open borders almost all over the world. So let's travel, let's meet each other in person, because never ever technologies can replace real relationships, real closeness of people, real warmth. It can't be felt through the Viber or video calls. So when you develop your relationships with a woman, try to see each other as much as you can. I understand that foreign men and in international couples, it's more difficult to meet very often because you are separated by countries, by works, you have different work schedules and you have to work, but still it's possible, and as much as you can allow, just see her. So maybe now you have some questions to me, and we will finish this topic. It's not actually too big. Just when you communicate with a girl online, whether there is quarantine or not, keep respectful attitude, respect her time, her plans, to plan your communication if you want video calls, and don't write her thousands of messages during a day. If you have much free time, it doesn't mean that she has to. So be respectful to her time and to her plans. So maybe more questions? John, I heard that everybody with a few bitcoins never will have to work again soon. Not sure, so I don't know. I'm not in this field at all, and I'm far from it, so I can't say anything now. How many times a year should I visit Ukraine to keep the relationship alive when the borders open? If you have possibility, it's better to see each other at least once per month, if not at least once per 2 months, as much as you can. I can't tell you about the exact amount of times, just as more often as you can, because imagine if you are dating a girl from your city, you can see each other almost every day or several times per week. With a Ukrainian woman, it will be different because you are separated by the distance, but at the same time, you need to know each other quite well to make the next step. If you want to have a family, then you have to know this woman and to make the decision if you want to get married here. And for this, you need to know her. For this, you need to meet her personally. as much as you can. If not, at least communicate online as much as you can, but again, keep in mind, not too much. One more comment. With Ukraine being known to be popular for drinking vodka like Russia, will the lady be offended if I don't drink or refuse to drink and be part of the... Oh, I don't think so. I don't think that she will be offended at all. Maybe again, maybe some girls, yes, but most of them, I think it's even your advantage why she should be offended. Maybe you can drink a little bit and to stop. Actually, it's better than if you drink a lot, and I don't think it's offended. If you don't like, you don't like. You have the right not to do what you don't want to do. So if she's enough respectful to you, it will be okay, fully okay for her. It's your choice and your freedom to decide what you want to do, especially with your body. Yeah, alcohol bad. Yeah, it depends on the amount which you use, I guess. It's like almost with everything in the world. If you do something too much, if you use something too much, then it makes you harm, damage. If you use or do something to a normal extent, there is no problem. John, I like your jokes. Any red flags to be aware of when talking to a girl from Ukraine? Actually, it's quite a big question. Do you mean communication online, or you mean when you meet her personally? While I'm reading the next comment, that's good as some girls like to drink from what I have seen. Maybe. But what you personally think about drinking? Is it important for you that your girl wouldn't drink at all, or you are quite tolerant about it and you don't mind her to drink? It depends on you. What you like and what you don't like in a woman. Dario, in person, red flags. First of all, everything starts with what you want to see in a woman. So you have a list of the qualities or some other criteria that are important for you in a woman. And when you talk to her, you put attention to what she mentions about her life, about her behavior, connected with this your criteria. So, for example, faithfulness. If faithfulness is important for you, and she can tell you that she was unfaithful to some men because of some reason, it can be a red flag for you. For other men, it can be alcohol, as we discussed it now. For example, if she tells you about the big party when she was drunk too much, and alcohol as you don't like and you don't want your woman to drink a lot, this will be your red flag. So it's very personal. But as for general red flags, as I told many times, it's about asking gifts, asking money during the first dates. Because if you want, you can give a gift yourself. Yeah. So if you have this internal wish, if you don't want, a woman shouldn't ask it. Never. The same is about money for taxi. So it's desirable that you would suggest her to pay to her taxi or just pay for her taxi. But if she asks you to pay for her taxi, it's not so good. Actually, I would consider it to be a red flag for sure. And again, you just keep listening to what she tells, and if there is something important for you and that you don't like and you definitely don't want it to have in your family life, it will be your red flag. For example, maybe you want her to stay home, or not to stay home all life, but at least to spend the time with your future children fully without any nannies. Then it will be your red flag if she says that when she will have children, she needs nannies for sure, and because she wants to work. It will be a red flag for you. Dayo, let me know if I answered your question enough or you have something to ask more. So I'm reading comments now. Not much of that last 5 years, so never mind. I was surprised. I spelled the word still correct. Well, I don't mind if she drinks a bit, like some wine for dinner or something, but since I don't drink any alcohol, I just don't want to come across as boring because of this. I understand. So you just need to find the girl with the same attitude to alcohol. It's not that difficult. I don't see too many girls who drink a lot here. Maybe it's not just my circle of communication, but I don't notice this problem in girls. As this has happened to me before when the lady didn't like that I wouldn't join it with her drinking some alcohol. Yeah, it was her choice and your choice. I guess you chose not to continue these relationships. Is there any type of flirting I shouldn't do with a girl, Ukrainian lady, because of clash of culture with Western girls? I don't wish to offend her again. Flirting. What I noticed from practice again, if you are too soon about suggesting her to go to your room or to have sex, for many women it will be not acceptable, or they can perceive you immediately like just a sex tourist. And I talked with some of my clients from America, Canada. They told me the casual sex is quite ordinary thing in their countries. It's okay to call a woman to a room and 2 dates, but it's not like that here. Not all girls are like that. So if you are not sure yet about how she thinks on it, just make a pause and don't ask her to have sex too soon. Actually, it's not flirting type, but it's a mistake that can happen and that can hurt some women because they think that you perceive them as this type of easy type of girls. How to say it? I don't know. Dayo, thank you for letting me know. How important is physical attraction with Ukrainian ladies? Because it's a big thing in the West. You mean how much you are physically attracted? How much is it important for women? If yes, again, for some women it's important, for some not. But again, from what I see happening in our agency, as soon as men pay attention to appearance, and it's quite natural, I'm okay with it. I already got accustomed to it that men mainly choose because of looks. But women, when we introduce some men to women, and we say some good facts about him from his life that are important for her, even if he doesn't look so much handsome, women still would like to meet, and they give a chance for relationship. So for women, I don't think that looks are too important. Actually, women don't like men who love only themselves. You know, this type of men looking too handsome, too sporty, and constantly looking at the mirror and telling her, look, I am so handsome. So it's not the favorite type of man for our women. How important is the Mother Day in Ukraine? I know it's soon, so is this day as important as International Women's Day? Actually, I don't even know when it happens. Here we mainly celebrate this International Women's Day, and also it's like a Mother's Day. For example, in schools and kindergartens, kids are preparing some performances for moms, so it's considered like a Mother's Day too. So I don't know about another Mother's Day here in Ukraine. When is it? When is it in your place? How is James Bond girl Olga Kurilenko doing? I heard she got sick with COVID. Who is it? Who is she? Uh-huh. And Ukraine Mother's Day on the 10th of May. Oh, thank you for telling, because I even didn't realize and don't see anyone celebrating it too much here. So thank you for letting me know. I only ask because I think of the single mothers and if they take it very seriously. I didn't notice actually. Again, among my friends, with people with whom I communicate, I even didn't hear that someone celebrates it this day. To add to Work's health question, do you want to be more direct and straight to the point, or just be playful and not too serious? Do you mean on the date? Again, it depends on the type of girl who is next to you. And depends on the situation where you are. For example, if you are dating now and you are in nightclub, if you will be too serious and direct at these circumstances, it can look a little bit strange, awkward. And when you go to a date and you discuss very important questions, for example, there is an atmosphere when you talk about your internal values, what's important for you in life, what happened in your past, for example, and your conversation is quite serious, and then you suddenly start to be playful, it won't be correct. Agree? So it depends on the situation. It's actually it's very useful, I believe, to be flexible and to be sensitive to situations and to be different depending on the right time. So when you feel this playful mood, why not to do it? When you feel that you need to discuss serious questions, why not to be direct? So different strategies are useful. It's important to be flexible and to use each one when you feel it's right, when you feel in this mood, and when you are able to feel the woman next to you. Ukrainian actress. I know, I will know. What happens if I have a negative experience on a date and it didn't go well? What do you mean, what happens? Do you mean actions of agency, or you mean actions of girls, or you mean what you have to do after that? Can you please clarify the question? And share with me, please. We all hope that quarantine will be over very soon. In Ukraine, we are told it's still 11th of May, so we hope it will be over very, very soon. Tell me, please, how you spent time of this quarantine for yourself, how you feel now. Maybe what type of new thoughts, what type of, in addition to be restricted from working, from normal work, from traveling, what changed in your life deeply? If you can share, please write me. So I'm waiting for your questions and we'll continue. And your comments about the quarantine influence on you, maybe on your relationships, if you was developing some, or if you have some now. Definitely makes me want to settle down and have kids to play with. Ah, Daya, I see. Yeah. No, as there is much information now on how married people now feel very many difficulties because they are constantly together in one space with each other. Moreover, many Ukrainians live in very little flats, and it doesn't add any comfort, and it adds tension, and there is a tendency for more divorces even because of this quarantine. At the same time, single people, they start to want family even more than before, when they were busy with work. So you see, the people's nature is very unpredictable, and when we are in couple, we are in relationships, we want more freedom more, maybe we get irritated by each other if we are too close, while single people, they miss the intimacy, closeness. So we have to keep balance all the time, either we have relationships or not. And of course playing with the wife too. hmm The only effect the quarantine has had on me is that I can't come to Ukraine. I see. I see. Thank you for sharing. It's interesting how difficult different people perceive this quarantine. For someone it's disaster, for someone this is a rest. Finally, many of us could have enough sleep, eat healthy food, and have time for kids. Yeah, I heard the divorce rate in China went up during the quarantine year. I heard about this too, and here they tell about this also. And even personally, I even know some people who are divorcing right now already during this quarantine, because men sometime before it found another woman. So different stories. Actually, we never know what's better, because each of us, we have our own life, and even divorces can be useful for some people. It can be changed for better. Some time ago in Soviet times, many people here, especially women, they were restricted by the rules of society, by the laws, the opinion of society. But now we got more free, and we have more freedom. Then there are more marriages in other families, and it's not bad. Tried that I lost the connection with you. Do you still see me, hear me or not?